to Duncan Amoah. He's Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. He's joining us on the line. Hello, welcome to Channel One News, Mr. Amoah. Based on your monitoring of the energy sector, how much longer can we afford to delay the implementation of this levy without the risk that would be associated with it? Mr. Amoah, can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Sandra, thank you for having me.
Yes, Duncan. I know the rains are in and possibly affecting the communication, but so my question is, now we have seen another postponement. How long can we last as a country where we can deal with a fuel shortage, or not fuel shortage, but the challenge of the energy sector if we do not start implementing this one Cedi levy, which government has said is very critical to preventing the sector from shutting down?
Well, Sandra, I do think that what the government has done is a good move in view of Iran, Israel. You cannot wipe out away everything that the government has been able to do over the past 6 months, bringing fuel prices from 15 to around 12, 11. And so if you wake up and in one swoop, that is a window coming on Monday, you add a 1 Ghana, you add a potential adjustment upwards, and it's going to wipe everything, then it's a good decision the government has made. What we can do as a country, if you ask me, at this point, there's a UPPF fund sitting at the NPA that has accrued some funds in there. I do think that the Ministry of Energy should pay some attention to that fund. Within a month, what the 1 Cedi was anticipated to have raked in would have been some 450 million or 460 million Ghana cedi. That shortfall, if the ministry were to look to the UPPF fund that you and I have paid for over the years, we should be able to bridge that gap at least for 1 month. And so I don't see how the president asking that we hold on now will make it impossible for us to address the power sector issues. We should be able to deal with that because there are some funds still idly. Again, you also have what we call the security services margin on your fuel price build-up. That also sits with the UPPF itself. That is some 10 pesos that we used to pay for petrol for the police, for the military, Article 71 office users. I do think that whatever prices we are going to see on Monday, if it doesn't hit too heavy, the ministry again could also explore maybe adding some 10 or 20 pesos just to be able to pay for the light crude oil that it says that it has imported to the tune of some 87 million USD that it needs to offset. So we should be able to innovate something without necessarily feeling as though without a 1 Cedi we can't solve anything. There's some funds in the UPPF
that we can tap into.
That we can probably fall on at this point.
Duncan, Iran is a major player when it comes to oil production, and indeed, if it sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. How soon before we see the impact of the fight between Iran and Israel at the pumps?
Sandra, the truth is, you are not expecting for crude prices to go up, and it won't have an impact on what you will call flat prices or finished product prices. Usually the lag is 5 days. Once crude goes up within 5 days, you would expect that finished products would also follow suit. And so that pricing thing would have a net effect on us. I do not see an immediate cessation or an end to Iran, Israel. It looks as though both sides have taken an entrenched position. And so that for me would bring us to, as a country, our preparedness for times or seasons as this. You cannot continue to keep your strategic buffer, which is called BOST, empty with 0 liters as a strategic stock. That ought to change. You cannot also continue to have your refining capacity, next to nothing. Central came in strongly. It is not refining. Tor is not refining. the two modular refineries, Akwaba and Platon, can barely add, anything to our national demand. And so something seriously ought to give at this point. And I do think that it is a good call for us as a country to re-strategize, because beyond Iran, Israel, there's also the tensions between China, Taiwan, the U.S., on one hand, Russia, U.S. There's a lot of geopolitical tension. We cannot continue to be price seekers. We cannot continue to be global observers. We cannot continue to allow international oil marketing companies come down here, take our hydrocarbon resources, you talk of tallow, ENI, and the others, and ship everything back to Europe, go and refine or process them. Then we would go back with a cargo to go and bring the refined product back into our country for 400 million USD every month. That strategy has also got to change. And I think that the current energy minister, Honorable John Jinapo, if anybody can fix this situation, should be better placed. And so we'll place a big onus on him to re-strategize and get Ghana not to be a global observer, and that anytime prices go up, then our economy is battered completely. Things would have to go up necessarily because Iran is fighting with Israel. We should not be feeling this impact immediately, but as it stands, our buffers are all down. Force does not have a single liter. Tamoyo Refinery and the others that could also have augmented petroleum security for us seem not to be doing anything much. I think the ministry should take a careful look at these developments and ensure that going forward we put in something. Sandra.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Duncan. That's Duncan Amoah. He's Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. This is ChannelOne News.